We have safely arrived for another day of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this 28th day of December 2021. It's a Tuesday. I'm Dan Kuntz. It's cold. It's 7 degrees outside of our studios, but it's 5 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago at this time. When we started this program, it was 2 degrees. We eventually got down to 1 degree, and we're still seeing that Arctic air seep down from British Columbia and Alberta, Canada, and we're going to stay very cold for the foreseeable future. We're going to see gradual warming, but I mean incredibly incrementally. Are we going to get down to 1 degree again like we did yesterday? Don't think so, but there's also a trade-off. We're still going to see some windy conditions and some light snow forecast for the Wenatchee Valley. Forecast details are on the way, but there's just no escaping it. It's cold, and it's going to stay cold. Congratulations to OMAC. There are winners yesterday. As I went through the almanacs, their low in OMAC on Monday was -2, and their high was 2. So the high temperature in OMAC yesterday, 2 degrees. The low, 2 degrees below zero. Moses Lake, your low temperature yesterday was 5. Afraid of 3. It's cold. It's the coldest temperatures we've seen in 12 years since the winter of 2009. And again, as I mentioned before, it's eventually going to warm up, but boy, Mother Nature's going to take her sweet time doing that. We'll also take you up to the major mountain passes. We'll got the news for you. A friendly reminder that house fires occur more often in the very dead of winter, and house fires and structure fires happen more this time of the year than they do in the middle of summer. Summer is wildfire season. Winter is structure fire season. Neither is very good. Sports, lots of high school basketball to talk about, a lot of holiday tournaments taking place all over North Central Washington. We also dig deep into the offensive woes of the Seattle Seahawks when we get to sports and everything else that you need. And it was one of our most popular interviews that we did this year. We did it. We aired it about 2 weeks ago. We're going to do it again today. It's a two-parter. We'll air part 1 today and part 2 tomorrow. It's when I had a chance to go behind the scenes of the new Chelan County PUD headquarters that's under construction out there in Old Station with Dan Frazier, the facilities director of the Chelan County PUD. It was a fascinating tour. Really cool. A lot of people liked it. We thought we'd show that to you again today and tomorrow. We'll have that for you in the back half of the program. Let's begin our tour. We are a ways from sunrise. Sunrise again this morning at 7:48. Now, the days are going to gradually get longer, but the sunrise isn't going to change. The sunrise is still going to be at about 7:48. Sunset is going to come a little bit later. 4:17 today. 8 hours and 29 minutes of daylight. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Again from the cross camera, and again giving East Wenatchee most of the attention. I don't think we've even moved that camera. It doesn't look like for a couple of days. And the one thing I've noticed, and I don't know if you did or not when you were out and about yesterday, very light traffic, of course, on this holiday week. It always is. The week between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of people take some downtime or work for a home or don't work as hard as they should, whatever the case may be. So traffic is, and of course there's no school, and that certainly helps as well. Camera number 2. Uriah wants to go visit. Oh, what did you do to me? Oh, geez. I don't know what we're looking at, Uriah. Help me out. That's the Badger Mountain camera, but what is it pointing at is what I'm curious about. Let me think here. So that's Badger Mountain. That's the Badger Mountain camera. But the Badger Mountain, I want to say it's pointed over towards maybe Malaga, towards the Stamilt Basin. That's a guess. I don't know. I see the bright lights down at the bottom. That could be, I don't know what we're looking at. Thank you, Uriah. I want to say that we're looking out towards the Malaga area. I could very well be wrong. I'm off an R. Just a guess. Camera number 2, 3, I should say. Well, there, I know, that's McNeil Canyon. We have 2 Sky-Fi towers up there at McNeil Canyon. That's McNeil Canyon North, I believe. That's a very tall tower and a camera way on top of that, which is why we can see Lake Chelan. It is, again, not that bright up at McNeil Canyon. It's letting in as much light as possible. Good morning to the lake off in the distance. And the folks who choose to live at McNeil Canyon, they are hardy folks. It's not very fun if you're making something to eat and you go, oh, well, I'm out of butter, and it's a 20-mile drive to the local grocery store. So kudos to those folks up at McNeil Canyon. And camera number 4. Oh, Billy Goat checks in. What a phenomenal view up there in the Omak Okanagan Valley. And boy, are you guys going to be in for more bitterly cold wind chills up there. More wind right out of the north blowing to the south. It's going to take a lot of Arctic air. It's going to make it feel incredibly cold in the Omak Okanagan Valley. Good morning to Pateros. Good morning to Brewster. A phenomenal view from the very tip top of Billy Goat. That is just stunning. I can never get tired of that view. Let's talk about these blustery north winds and the accompanying wind chills. They have a wind chill warning up there in the Omak area. Wind chills, when you factor in the temperature and the wind today, north winds 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusts above 30 at times throughout the day today and into Wednesday morning. You're going to see wind chills minus 20 in Omak. That is cold, minimum wind chill. It's going to be still, the winds are going to run out of gas by the time they get to the Wenatchee Valley, but still, that's really cold. And you folks out in the Columbia Basin and along the State Route 2 corridor between Spokane and Waterville, bitterly cold there with sub-zero wind chills. That's just dangerously cold. That's the kind of wind that just bites through your clothing. It doesn't really matter how many layers you have on. Now, as far as snow is concerned, another band is coming. This is late today through Wednesday. This is the first of two bands. Most of the snow for the Wenatchee Valley is going to be probably on Thursday. And we're not going to get a lot, but of course it's so cold that the snow we already have on the ground isn't melting. It's not going anywhere. It's not dissipating. And we're going to have a little bit more light snow on top of that. This first band, the farther south you go, the more snow you're going to get. This is late today through Wednesday. So we're going to still see a stray flurry or two. We had a couple last night. There was a light dusting of snow on my car this morning. Very light snow, very crystal-like snow with very little water content. But for the Wenatchee Valley, we're looking at snow early Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. All right, from the National Weather Service, here we go. We'll have some clear skies this morning, and then the clouds will be picking up in intensity and darkening up the clouds as the day progresses. They say we're going to get to 14. Our high yesterday was 10. That was it. They were predicting 17. We only got to 10, but it got much colder yesterday than they were expecting at this time. So it took way too long for the sun to get the job done. And of course, here we are in the dead of winter, so expect that. 7 for the overnight low tonight. Chance of snow tonight at about 40%, but again, less than half an inch of snow. Wednesday, sunshine for the most part. We'll get up to about 15 degrees. Then that next band I just talked about will come in early Thursday morning, basically overnight Wednesday night and the Thursday morning. Again, a half an inch of snow Wednesday night, maybe a half an inch of snow on Thursday. All things combined, the snow Wednesday night into Thursday morning, maybe an inch. Will warm up to 17 on Thursday. Friday, a little bit warmer. Again, it's all relative to 21 degrees we go on Friday with quite a bit of sunshine. And we'll take you into the new year. For New Year's Eve, if you're going to go out and about and rally on Friday night, could get some light snow. Don't think so. But it's going to be cold, 7 for the overnight low. We welcome the new year, 2022, just in the nick of time with a little bit of light snow, lots of clouds. Highs will be in the lower 20s, a little bit warmer on Sunday, a little bit warmer as we head back to work on Monday the 3rd. It's going to take a long time to warm back up. And even that 30-degree temperature that you see on Monday is still below normal. Our normal high this time of the year is about 32 or 33. Cold. Mountain Passes, your pass report brought to you by D.A. Davidson, the strength of a trusted partner and personalized solutions to meet your financial needs. Member SIPC. Yep, it's been down for about 24 hours now, the Stevens Pass camera. In fact, all of the Stevens Pass summit cameras, there are multiple cameras at the summit of Stevens Pass. None of them are currently working. The DOT knows about it, by the way. On Stevens Pass, chains are required. It is snowing lightly. There is compact snow and ice on the roadway. Stevens Pass is dealing with some of the same conditions that we are down here. There's just no snow melt, so that the ice and the snow just gets compacted down by the cars, and it has no place for it to go. Chains are required right now on Stevens Pass. Blewett, overcast, not snowing. Traction tires are advised. And by the way, a quick heads up, the Washington State Patrol is in charge of deciding on what the requirements and the restrictions are for studded tires and chains. That's their call. They send the troopers up, they go over the pass, and they phone in and they say this is what we think should happen. And that's what it is. So Blewett Pass, traction tires are advised. Traction tires are also advised on I-90. Snoqualmie Pass, there's a live shot there. Compact snow and ice on the roadway. It is snowing and snowing lightly. Not a lot of snow today, not a lot of snow tonight, not a lot of snow on Wednesday. But then Wednesday night, a couple of inches of snow. And then the next significant snow event for the mountain passes, Thursday and Thursday night. Thursday during the day, 2 to 4 inches of snow in the mountain passes. Thursday night, an additional inch or so. And then that tapers off. and the next mound of snow isn't expected until Saturday night. So not a lot of snow in the Cascades until Thursday and Thursday night. To recap, on Stevens Pass, chains are required on all cars unless you got all-wheel drive. On Blue Pass, it's a traction tire advisory. On I-90, it's a traction tire advisory. 10 minutes after the hour, 1 minute break, and then your Tuesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, this is Oscar at Town Nissan.
And I'm Sean from the Lighthouse Christian Ministries. Every time that you fill this truck full of food, Town Nissan is going to make a much-needed financial contribution to the ministry this year.
Your food donation will go further at Town Nissan.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, independent agent at Springwater Insurance Group. And for next year's plans, there's some really special ones coming out. One in particular has no premium to it. 0 premium. That's pretty neat, especially if you're a veteran who has TRICARE or VA or CHAMPS VA, because you can utilize 2 plans at the same time. If you have questions about this and like more information, give us a call at 888-2600.
High clouds, patchy fog. It is 7 degrees in downtown Wenatchee, so it's a little bit warmer than yesterday, but all things are relative. We'll be in the teens for the afternoon high today. Light snow possible tonight, more snow, but not a lot. Wednesday night and Thursday, we will gradually, and I mean gradually, warm up to near normal by this time next week. We begin with this story at 13 minutes after the hour. The Chelan County PUD says these frigid temperatures that are expected for quite some time is going to put a major load to the record energy use. In fact, the current Chelan County power usage record was set back on January 4th, 2007. That's when the temperature in the valley dipped to -1 degree. That day, back on January 4th of 2007, there were 491 megawatts of Chelan PUD energy consumed. Now, the low temperatures of the Wenatchee Valley, as you know, are forecast to stay very cold through the weekend. Monday morning led to reports of freezing pipes at residences and businesses. At 5:41 yesterday in the morning, a pipe burst in the basement of the Wenatchee Safeway. That required the repair of a riser pipe. And at 7:33 yesterday morning, the fire department responded after the Treetop facility on Highway 97A had a sprinkler head break. PUDs have thus far reported few power outages from the cold and, as you might imagine, a heavy usage of electricity. An East Wenatchee man was taken to Central Washington Hospital early yesterday morning with burn injuries suffered in a motorhome fire in the 2400 block of Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee. The identity of the man has not been released, but Sean Ballard of Ballard Ambulance said his conditions were minor and the man was in stable condition. Fire District spokeswoman Kay McKellar said the fire was reported about 2:40 yesterday morning. Firefighters from both Douglas County Fire District 2 and Chelan County Fire District 1 responded to find the RV fully engulfed. McKellar said the victim told firefighters a space heater caused the fire, but the fire district has not yet confirmed that. She said a dog reportedly escaped the blaze, but has gone missing. Firefighters from both districts were also called out Sunday night at about 6:30 for a workshop fire at a home in the 1500 block of Western Avenue in Wenatchee. That 2-alarm fire led to the closure of Western Avenue near Rotary Park. For a short time, the fire in the 50 by 50 wood shop was stopped before spreading to the nearby home. McKellar said the shop was destroyed, but there were no injuries. The cause of that fire not yet been determined. Bad parking habits in the tourist-heavy town of Leavenworth as under rebuke from Christmas Day from the State Department of Transportation. This story got a lot of comments on our Facebook page. You're not supposed to do that. Visitors deciding to park right on the highway in the right-hand turn lane along Highway 2. This despite a big warning sign that was put in place by the city after people started doing that earlier in the week. State and local officials warn that such parking jobs are illegal and they run the risk of getting your car towed. Leavenworth operates 4 paid parking lots and 3 free lots with metered parking stalls in the downtown area. Former East Wenatchee Municipal Judge Chancey Crowell has a new post, this one in Okanagan County. Back in mid-December, county commissioners approved Crowell as the new district court judge, replacing former Judge Robert Grimm. He was one of 3 applicants for the new job. Crowell was the city judge in East Wenatchee for for the last 12 years until the mayor and council allowed his contract to lapse at the end of this year. State law requires Chancey Crowell to establish residency in Okanagan County. And finally, severe cold and icy conditions have led some agencies to either close or shorten their working hours this week. Among them, Confluence Health's COVID-19 outreach will operate on special hours this week. COVID testing at the health system's Emerson Street building will also only be held from 10 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon through Thursday, and they'll only be open from 10 a.m. to 12 noon coming up on Friday, New Year's Eve. Now, normally that drive-through opens at about 7:30 in the morning. And of course, don't forget, you need an appointment to get tested. 663-8711, 663-8711. That's what's making headlines. At 16 minutes after the hour on this chilly Tuesday morning, Grant Olson's a real popular guy because he does weather forecasting. Make it warmer, Grant, with a preview of tonight's news. Here's Grant.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, our bitterly cold temperatures continue today and tomorrow, with snow headed our way on Thursday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on the college bowl games, as well as all things Seahawks and Kraken. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. Hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. There's any number of ways you can go about doing it. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a note on Facebook Messenger. You can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon, or you can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. When we come back in sports, we'll preview a lot of holiday high school basketball tournaments around the Pacific Northwest. We'll also talk Seahawk football. The Cougars are going to play in the Sun Bowl. They found an opponent after the Hurricanes backed out. Plus, we will have the obscure holiday today in history, some celebrity birthdays, an opinion from Mike McNaughty, and once again, our tour of the brand new Chelan County PUD headquarters under construction in Old Station with our good friend Dan Frazier. All coming up between now and 8 o'clock. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Dr. Malcolm Butler. I'm a family physician here at CVCH, and I've been a family physician here for the past 28 years. For 25 of those years, I've been the chief medical officer, and now I get to return to my first passion, which is the delivery of primary care. I'm looking forward to welcoming you and your family to join me as I practice 3 days a week in our 600 Orondo building in Wenatchee.
Badger Mountain Brewing is proud to announce the grand opening of our new kitchen. Come try out our new menu featuring fabulous steaks, prime rib, gourmet burgers, and seafood grilled up by experienced meat master, Chef Galen Goodman. To complement your mouth-watering meal, Badger Mountain Brewing features 14 in-house crafted beers, an alcohol-free root beer infused with 11 different herbs and spices, 3 different ciders, and a great wine selection. Don't miss out on the best meats and the best brews down at Badger Mountain Brewing, located at 1 Orondo Avenue across the tracks from the Pybus Market.
18 minutes after the hour in sports, the Wilbur Ellis Yakima Sun Dome shootout begins today, but has had a major reshuffle because of COVID-19 issues and cold weather and travel issues. 12 teams have backed out of that tournament. So we'll start today with a look at the prep boys basketball schedule that is going to happen that we know of. First of all, the Cascade Hoops Classic in Leavenworth. You got Vashon Island taking on Highland today at 1:30. That's followed by Manson and Cascade at 4:30. Down at the Sun Dome in Yakima, Brewster will take on Zilla at 4:30. Wapato and Quincy will play at 6 on one court, and at the same time, Ephrata will take on Lakewood on the other basketball court. We were a little ahead of ourselves yesterday regarding the T-Town Throwdown happening at Silas High School in Tacoma. It actually gets underway today. Wenatchee takes on Foss at 11 a.m. and Eastmont will play tomorrow at 3:45. Also on the schedule today in boys basketball, Pateros will host Republic at 3:30. Okanagan plays Deer Park in Chelan at 4:30. Omak will host Elmira Cooley Hardline at 5, and Libertyville visits Freeman at 6. To the girls' schedule, we'll begin at Moses Lake. The Chief girls are hosting a mixer. It begins at 3:30. Eisenhower taking on Central Valley. That's followed by Gonzaga Prep and Sunnyside, and then Moses Lake will take on Meade at 6:30. At the Cascade Hoops Classic in Leavenworth, Highland and Wapato will play at 1 today, followed by Cascade and Manson at 3 o'clock. Down in Yakima, At the Wilbur Ellis Sundome Shootout, you got Ellensburg and Zilla at 3 o'clock, followed by Quincy and Tenino at 4:30. Also today, it's Republic at Pateros at 2 o'clock. Okanagan will play Deer Park in Chelan at 3. Omak and Amara Cooley Heartline at 3:30. Liberty Bell at Freeman at 4. And Chelan will host Napavine tonight at 6. Plenty of precautions have been taken for today's wrestling tournament in Royal. That's where the Knights are hosting the Royal Christmas Tournament. 13 teams in Royal, including Ephrata, Liberty Bell, Moses Lake, and Quincy. They will get wrestling at 10 this morning. If we learned anything about 2 years of dealing with COVID, don't write anything down in ink. Use a pencil, because Miami, as you know, pulled out of the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl over the weekend because of coronavirus issues. Well, that initially meant they weren't going to play the game, but now bowl organizers have found a replacement. The Central Michigan Chippewas will fill in on New Year's Eve. Central Michigan was supposed to play Boise State in the Arizona Bowl on New Year's Eve, but the Broncos had to pull out because of COVID issues. There was a thought of moving the game back a couple of days, but for now it is going to be held Friday morning at 9 a.m. on CBS. The Seahawks are 0-5 in games decided by 4 or fewer points this year. 0-5. That's a very sharp contrast to last year, or 2 seasons ago, when Seattle was 6-0 in games decided by 4 points or less. So what's the difference? Time of possession. In 2019, Seattle went undefeated in tight games by possessing the ball for an average of 2 minutes longer than their opponents. This year, in the 5 games where the Seahawks have lost close games, the opposition held the ball an average of 14 minutes longer. What does that mean? If you don't have the ball, it's hard to score touchdowns and field goals. Coach Pete Carroll says it's also about players trying to do too much in tight situations.
It's not one thing. There's a number of areas that we're trying to get hammered out where we're just cleaner and sharper. You know, it's just coming through. Really, what I talk about all the time, Tim, is that we're trying to play like we've been playing, and don't let the situation of the game cause you to try to do something that you weren't doing in the earlier part of the game. Just keep executing and focusing on that is more. It's more of a challenge than you might think. You just need to keep doing stuff right. And so what happens is there's an area, we got a hold on on the line of scrimmage, and then we get a late hit on the quarterback, and then there's a guy that might be laying off in his coverage as opposed to pressing, and there's just things like that you just try to keep working to clean up that they get magnified in these games that are so close, and a mistake, an issue, a choice a guy may make in a situation, and so we're just trying to clean it all up, and so that we fit off of one another. Like, for instance, we had the situation in the game where the defense we missed a field goal. Then the defense goes back out and gets a nice stop. We get the ball back for our guys at midfield on a 4th down stop, and we need to capitalize on that with the offense, taking advantage of that. So it's all of those things that we're trying to work out, because in any game they can be the one that's the key issue. So it just seems like in the past those issues have not stopped us from winning the games, and we've been able to accelerate even in our situation at the end of the game. Not happening like we want to right now.
Seahawks are set to host the Lions at Lumen Field, and then they wrap up the season down in Arizona in a couple of weeks. Coach Pete Carroll was asked if they're going to change their approach to the last 2 games of the season, considering the Seahawks aren't going to the playoffs.
No, we're going to do everything to keep our focus on playing this week. Just do it 1 week at a time and just keep rolling. Our approach has always been set up for whatever the circumstances bringing, and in this regard, it's no different. So we're going to go after it and calling our guys to be in it and study and bust their tail to get really good at the game plan and put our best foot forward for this ball game.
Seahawks and the Lions at Lumen Field, 1:25 kickoff. You can watch the game on Fox. I won't be. I got better things to do on Sunday afternoon. And finally, 4th-ranked Gonzaga gets back to the hardwood tonight in Spokane. They'll be hosting North Alabama. 6 o'clock tip-off at the Kennel. It'll be broadcast in Spokane on KHQ and on Root Sports. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 28th day of December, your obscure holiday. Today is National Card Playing Day. You want to whip out a deck of cards? Let's play a little cards. Spades, poker, solitaire, gin rummy, bridge, pinochle. Of course, you need a special deck for that. Blackjack, Texas Hold'em. There are thousands of card games, a lot of regional favorites. Playing cards, the idea of having pre-printed cards and you gamble with it for money, goes all the way back to the 9th century and China. But cards, as we kind of sort of know them today, goes back to the early Renaissance in Europe, specifically England, when they developed the idea of a deck of cards, and they divided into 4 suits. The 4 original suits, way back in the Renaissance days, were coins, cups, swords, and sticks. Those were the suits. Yeah, coins, cups, swords, and sticks. Eventually, they became hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. The theory behind that is that represented the different classes of the era. Hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs represented the clergy, the aristocracy, the military, and the peasants. Don't know if it's true. Card playing, of course, has kind of gone in a renaissance since the COVID-19 pandemic began. People were shut in at home with very little to do. They started playing cards again, especially bridge. Bridge became very popular again. Today is the day to whip out a deck of cards and play some cards. 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history. We always welcome states to the Union. Iowa is 175 years old today. It was on this date, December 28th, 1846, that Iowa was admitted to the Union as the 29th state. That is the Iowa state flag. It ain't bad. I'm not a big fan of state flags that actually have their name on it. Part of the fun of looking at a state flag is figuring out what state flag it is. The best looking state flag is still Arizona. That's a beauty. Iowa, was admitted to the Union. It is the Hawkeye state. Iowa is the only state of the Union whose east and west borders consist almost entirely of rivers, which is interesting if you think about it. Iowa is dead last among the 50 states on land set aside for public use. Iowa does not have a lot of land, and what they do with it, they farm on it for the most part. The 4-year graduation rate for high schoolers in the state of Iowa is 91.3%. That's the highest in the nation. That's pretty good. 42% of all the electrical power generated in Iowa, wind farms. We can get a little windy in Iowa. Iowa has 3.2 million people. Iowa has 21 million hogs. Hogs outnumber people about 8-1 in Iowa. And along Interstate 80, I've been there, it's very impressive. Along Interstate 80 near Walcott, Iowa, is the world's largest truck stop. It's called the Iowa 80. It's huge. It has parking for 90 semis. It has like 15 restaurants. It's big. Happy birthday, Iowa. 175 years old today. The most important game in the history of the National Football League was played on this date. On December 28, 1958, at Yankee Stadium in New York City, 63 years ago today. It's been called the greatest game ever played. The Baltimore Colts defeat the New York Giants in overtime, 23-17. The very first sudden death championship game in National Football League history. An estimated 45 million people watched the game on television. Most of the East Coast of the United States was snowed in. Obviously, it was a Sunday afternoon, although the game was not televised in New York City. Even though Yankee Stadium was completely sold out, the blackout rules at the time did not allow the broadcasts of any NFL games in the city where it was being played. Seems silly now, but the people in New York City couldn't even watch the Giants play for the NFL championship because it was in New York City. Go figure. During overtime, when the Colts were driving for what would eventually be the game-winning touchdown, the television feed went dead for about 2 minutes. And everybody freaked out. Well, as it turns out, the crowd surging forward to watch the final plays of the game disconnected a cable television cord. But luckily, somebody ran out onto the field and delayed the game. In the meantime, they fixed the cord, and nobody missed any action. So there you go. By the way, this was the last time the championship game of the National Football League went into overtime until Super Bowl 51, when the Atlanta Falcons choked away a ginormous lead and lost to New England in overtime. It's still considered the greatest game ever played. Birthdays. At the bottom of the hour, we always do presidents. Woodrow Wilson is considered one of the best presidents this country ever had. The 28th president of the United States, Woodrow Wilson, born in Virginia on this date in 1856, died in Washington, D.C. at the age of 67 in 1924. He is the last president so far to marry in the White House. His wife, Ellen, died during his first term, very shortly into his first term. He married Edith Galt 1 year later. And despite he was a white supremacist and he believed in racial segregation, despite that, he's still considered by historians one of our better presidents. And of course, his wife, Edith, ran the country for the last year and a half after Woodrow Wilson suffered a stroke in his second term. Woodrow Wilson, born in the state in 1856. Johnny Otis would have been 100 years old today. You're going to go, Johnny Otis, do I know that guy? Well, Willie and the Hand Drive is probably his biggest hit. But he did it all. He was a singer, a musician, a composer, and a record impresario, a band leader, a talent scout, an author, a journalist, a television show host. He was terribly underrated in the world of rock and roll and popular music altogether. The great Johnny Otis was born 100 years ago today. I got a couple of Johnny Otis albums, and I will play them before this day is over. Happy birthday to the great Johnny Otis. Martin Milner would have been 90 years old today. Officer Pete Malloy in Adam 12. He inspired a lot of kids back in the day to become cops. He was pretty good at it. Martin Milner, born in the state in 1931. Died in 2015 at the age of 83, Martin Milner. Bill Lee, the spaceman, is 75 years old today. One of the flakiest and most interesting characters in all of sports history, not just baseball. When asked about his views on mandatory drug testing, Bill Lee said, "I've tried pretty much all the drugs and I wouldn't make them mandatory." He also ran for the president of the United States on the Rhinoceros Party back in 1988. His platform called for the flattening out of the Rocky Mountains so Alberta, Canada could get more sunshine. And he also wanted to ban all guns and all butter, saying butter and guns can kill. Bill Lee is 75 years old today. Somebody should probably tell him. Denzel Washington, one of the great actors, 67 years old today. He's got 2 Academy Awards, Best Supporting Actor for Glory and Best Actor for Training Day. Remember Training Day when he played that crooked cop? He was good. Denzel Washington, 67 years old today. And John Legend, one of only 16 people to have an EGOT. An EGOT is somebody who has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. He has at least one of each, and he's only 43 years old, and he's the only black man to have an EGOT. Happy birthday, John Legend, 43 today. 32 minutes after the hour, a break. Mike McNally's got an opinion, then part 1 of my 2-part tour of behind the scenes of the brand new Chelan County PUD headquarters going up in Old Station with Dan Frazier, the facilities manager of the Chelan County PUD. We'll have that for you next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Happy holidays from your friends at Wenatchee Power Sports. Come in today and check out our inventory of Polaris snowmobiles, accessories, and apparel. We also carry a large selection of snow gear from FXR, Climb, BCA, and more. The entire Wenatchee Power Sports team is dedicated to keeping our inventory stocked as we continue to provide a level of customer service that's second to none. From dirt bikes and utility vehicles to snowmobiles and watercraft, we have you covered for every season. Your adventure begins here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge in Leavenworth has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience. Serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's Intimate Lounge is a wonderful place to relax and dine with beautiful views of the mountains. Do you have a special occasion coming up? Call Crystal's to reserve their event space. Whether your event is grand, intimate, or casual, Crystal's provides unforgettable food and superb service. Crystal's Restaurant and Lounge, proud to be serving fabulous food and drinks.
Are you frustrated because you feel like you aren't getting the internet speeds you pay for? One of the most common ways to test your internet connection is called a speed test. These are free and easily located on the internet and can tell you how fast your internet is. However, for certain reasons, these tests may not always be accurate. A speed test shows you how fast a file can be downloaded to the computer you're running the test on. However, there are many things that can affect the speed of that download besides the speed of the internet going into your home. A few of the things that can affect your internet speed are poor Wi-Fi signal, other wireless signals interfering with the wireless signals coming from your router, other devices in your home draining your bandwidth, your computer or phone running apps programs in the background that you aren't aware of, slowing your entire device. Any of these things can slow down your internet. Your internet is like water flowing down a pipe. There's a big pipe bringing internet to your local area, and a smaller pipe coming off of that bringing internet to your home address. Your router is just another pipe that brings the internet inside your house, and every device inside your home is like a pipe connected to the router. Just like with water, if any of those pipes along the way are too small for the amount of internet that needs to flow through for a family, the flow for everything down the line will be much slower. It's a lot like trying to push all the water going into your house through a small straw. Also, again, just like with water, if everyone in your home is using the internet at once, any individual device may not be able to receive the full flow of the internet. It's like your whole family trying to drink out of that small straw all at once. If you're struggling with internet that is slower than expected, make sure that all of the devices that your internet flows through are working correctly, and check all devices in your home for background programs that may be using the internet. If everything still appears to be working correctly, contact us and we'll be able to help.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Stay active and independent for life. SAIL is an evidence-based strength, balance, and fitness program. The exercises in a SAIL class have been packaged into a formal regimen focusing on 4 key areas important to the health and fitness of mature participants: low-impact cardiovascular, balance work, strength training, and stretching. SAIL classes are designed for people of all fitness levels and can be done sitting or standing. Join us for SAIL on the NCW Life channel. Check your listing for days and times.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino is the perfect place to meet in East Wenatchee. The Old West theme takes you back in time with casino gambling and poker tables. And now you can play the best games on or off the tables. Stop by and check out the new game room. All your favorite games and extended late night hours makes the Clearwater your best bet for a great time. And if time slips away having so much fun, stay the night next door at the Cedars Inn. It's all here nightly at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino in East Wenatchee.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So let's say you have a negative experience with someone from a different race or group, and on the basis of that experience, you form a general opinion on that entire race or group. Or maybe you see or experience other instances which you perceive support your subjective judgment. Now, isn't this a description of prejudice, which we all seem to agree is wrong? Now, the reason I ask myself and others when I claim to abhor one type of prejudice, am I harboring another type and justifying it due to my subjective perceptions? A simpler way to ask this is, do I think it's okay to hate and be prejudiced against people who I perceive as prejudiced? This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited, products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Fall in love with high-speed internet from Localtel Communications. Cuddle up and stream unlimited movies and TV with SureStream TV. With speeds up to 1 gig, you can download music, apps, and games in seconds. Shop, stream, surf, and game like never before when you fall in love with Localtel. Call 509-888-8888 today.
Ooh, what a workout. I'm going to be feeling it tomorrow.
In other news, lawmakers today were addressing the nation's opioid crisis, which has already taken thousands of lives.
The opioid crisis is really something.
Yeah, I guess like 75% of opioid misuse starts with someone taking pills that weren't prescribed to them.
I'm glad my doctor always suggests other options for pain management.
Totally, there's ice, there's ibuprofen.
A warm bath, hot compress.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Since August of last year, you've seen this building behind us go up. If you've been anywhere near Old Station, it is, of course, going to be the brand new headquarters of the Chelan County PUD. A long, drawn-out process, but every day they make more and more and more progress to their grand opening, which is scheduled for late summer of 2023. Obviously, when you're moving an organization as large as the PUD, they're going to do this in increments. And the guy who's kind of birthing this baby, for lack of a better term, because he's in charge of the facilities for the Chelan County PUD, is our old friend Dan Frazier. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
You've been involved in this from day one from the PUD. You came over from the city as the facilities guy. The first thing you did is you looked at all the facilities and you went back to your bosses, the commissioners, and you said, we got problems with our downtown headquarters, don't we?
Well, I wish I could take credit for it. This process actually started before I got to the PUD, and they did some assessment of the existing facilities, and the 2015 strategic plan was just kind of coming out, and the idea of reinvesting in all of our facilities was really the top thing that came out of that plan. So really, in looking at things like hydro turbines and looking at substations, that was kind of a no-brainer. We needed to work on those things. But the facility assessment was really eye-opening for the district. And our buildings are very old. We've been occupying some of them for over 50 years. And so did an assessment of what it would take to renew those buildings, to stay there, stay downtown, keep a presence downtown. And then we looked at other options. And one that came out and really started to get some legs under it was moving the operations out into the Old Station area. So Old Station is central to the PUD's business. And we go up the river, we go back down the river, we go up the valley. So it seemed like a good spot to put our operations. And as we matured that investigation and discovery, we found that really it helps if administration is where operations is. And so as we got further along in the process, we started looking at all the economics around what would be the best thing for our customer owners for long term. So we came into the project with three main goals. what's the best financial value long-term, what's the best customer service for our customer owners, both as we roll out to work with them and as they come in to see us to sign up for services, and then how do we improve safety. So buildings that were built 50 years ago are not the best for safety. And so we retrofit what we can, but a new facility that's purpose-built, much better for safety. So with those three goals, we built a business plan around this. A lot of interaction with the commission, a lot of interaction with the public. We had advisory committees, and it kept coming back to, you really need to just do a full campus move. Old Station is the place to go. The port had property that fit our needs. It really was kind of a kismet that all those things came together.
And the downtown campus was, for lack of a better term, its usefulness was done.
Yeah.
The 8 acres, it just didn't work anymore. The buildings were old, they were outdated in any number of ways, and this was probably 10 years overdue, but it's happening.
Yeah, the PUD actually has studied facilities plans in the past. 4 or 5 of them are on the corner of my desk, and it just never had the critical mass to say, okay, this is the time we need to do it. But you're right, it was overdue. That was a good campus when we had 20,000 customers, less of a good campus when we had 30, and now we have 50,000. It's really hard to service them, kind of buried in Wenatchee, and then with the ever expanding services, fiber, water, wastewater, it was just time to really get that new campus.
And in the long run, it's going to be a cost saver to the customer service owners of the Chelan County PUD.
Absolutely.
This is the big building that everybody's talking about because this is the one that goes up first, but there's actually a total of 8 buildings right on the campus.
Correct. 8 buildings. This is the largest building. It's the administration building. It is also, I don't want to sound like it's the rest of the buildings are ugly, but this is the most aesthetically pleasing of the buildings.
This is the one that the public will be doing most of their business in.
That's right. So the public, this is the public-facing piece of the PUD. So they'll come here to get a new service, attend a PUD board meeting, be part of the process.
You mean you can actually sit in it instead of that cramped little room?
Yes, we have a purpose-built board room. It's going to be a really good experience for our customer owners when they come in the door and they kind of know what they're doing. There was a video that was produced by the PUD Communications several years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, and it detailed what it took to get a new service at the PUD. And you had to go around to all these different places because that campus was never built with all the services that we provide in mind. So this was really well thought out in terms of what the customer experience will be, and I think they'll love it.
So what we're going to do is Dan and I are going to take a tour, and you are going to join us. You ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Off we go.
Well, we go through over here.
Do I need to call 811? Watch your step, watch your head.
Okay.
We are back. As you can see, the lobby is ready for customers, so come on down. Well, we're not there yet. We are in what will eventually be the lobby, Dan, and as you mentioned, this is going to be a big, huge, open area, much more welcoming than that little hole in the ground that you currently call a lobby in downtown Wenatchee.
That's correct. This is it's a 2-story lobby. So you come in, it's kind of a nice big feature wall on a couple of sides. We'll have a map of Chelan County, some other features in here. But it's really laid out for the customer experience to be positive. They'll know where to go. There'll be a place to pay your bill. There'll be another place to sign up for services. There's going to be a great area for energy conservation demonstrations. So if you want to hear about, what should I do for an HVAC replacement, or what should I do for a water heater, we'll have a great demo area and talk to somebody from energy conservation. It'll all be in one central area. Great customer parking out in front of the building, really accessible. And so that's what we were trying to do, as opposed to what we currently have, which is a really tough situation downtown.
It's a small lobby. There's no parking. It's just not customer friendly in a governmental agency that is owned by the customers.
Yeah, that's right, owned by the people we serve. And so speaking of that, they can also come in, they'll be able to go up these stairs, or there's an elevator dedicated to go to the 2nd floor, and the boardroom is right on the 2nd floor. So it's all outside of the secured perimeter. We'll have a security presence here, but it's not you don't have to badge in. Currently, if you want to go to a PUD meeting, you have to go kind of deep into the building, and it's a little more difficult. And so this will be really open and accessible for people to come in, meet with their commissioners, come attend a meeting. The new services will be on the 2nd floor. So if you're coming in a contractor, getting a new power service or fiber, they'll be on the 2nd floor. Great views, and one of the things we wanted to do was this transparency of looking at the operations. So as I mentioned, this building and this facility was all about the operations. And so for customers to come in and be able to see the working part of their PUD was really important to us. So this is all going to be an open viewing of that operations part of the yard.
And I'm spitballing here, but my guess is the people of the PUD are all going to come here as one big family. That's got to be good for morale. Oh, gee, I don't have to share 9 offices with 4 guys and we're falling all over each other and that kind of stuff. Just to have something new, something to take pride in, is probably going to be really good for the folks who call the PUD their home.
Yeah, I think in terms of what we currently have, we grew over time. You know, obviously the downtown campus was the first location. Grew to where it was too small, and we bought the Holly Street, developed some water, wastewater, and some other groups there. Kept buying more pieces there, but you always had this disconnect between the two. And so a lot of travel between the 2 sites. We actually analyzed the time our crews spent going between those 2 campuses out here and then getting out to our customers. And by centralizing to this location and getting all the people, their equipment, and their vehicles all in one spot, we're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just in time of that, you know, people sitting on North Wenatchee Avenue. Plus now we have purpose-built locations. So the fiber crew will have a room that's really meant for a fiber crew room, not a former, I'm not sure what it was, a lunchroom in the past. And so that just gives people a sense of, yeah, this is our place. This is, you know, we were, they thought about us when they built this, and we can meet their needs as an operational group, and then they can come in and talk to the accountants and the engineers and the people they need to talk to, and they're right there, and they're not on another campus or down the road somewhere.
How did that work when it came to input from the employees? Say HR, for instance. What do you need office space? What would you like to see as we build a new building? Human resources, was that part of the whole deal?
Yeah, absolutely. So
as an example.
That's called programming. So when we program a building and program a campus like this, so we met with every group. And when you look at the PUD, when you talk work groups, there's 50 different work groups. So we had a ton of meetings, and we did it initially kind of at a very high level. How many people, what offices, what cubicles, what common spaces like conference rooms and copiers. And that kind of informed the budget for the project. And then once we had the budget, then we had to see, does it work? Does that budget fit, you know, what is feasible for the PUD? So once we got that answered and got the go-ahead from the commissioners to say, okay, go ahead, build it, then we went back to those people and we refined and refined and refined. And that's what resulted in this campus, is every group had input into what they needed to do their job, you know, the most efficiently and the best. And it's interesting, when you get a big building like this, the word adjacency becomes really important. So if I'm in HR, I want to be able to get close to the lobby for people coming into interviews. I want to be close to the boardroom. I want to be close to different things. And so we use several strategies in this building. We'll probably look at one later, which is interconnecting stairways, that you don't go out to a stair tower to go up to the next floor. You can actually just pop up to the next floor, because you can't fit everybody who needs to be close together, really close together in a building of this size. So that was all part of the programming, was to figure out how this building functions as a, I mean, it's its own machine, and it needed to function that way.
You see the sign on the current headquarters, owned by the people we serve. This is your Chelan County PUD, not Dan's. And so everybody has a vested interest in seeing this project come to fruition. And I want to thank you personally, and Rachel and everybody, for letting us come down and take a behind-the-scenes tour. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming down. We're looking forward to moving in. We hope that everybody's very excited about what new services the PUD will be able to provide here at this new location. Plus, we'll be able to get to you when you have a problem much easier and not stuck on North Wenatchee Avenue.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Warm Up with Radiance is in at Manson's largest indoor venue. Enjoy small bites and big entertainment all winter long with our selection of artisan flatbreads, premium wines, draft beer, and more. Visit us online at radiancewinery.com for details.
Chelan Ridge Winery has new owners and a new celebrity chef. From wood-fired pizza to winemaker's dinners, Chef Greg Kurtz delivers his culinary magic to your table. Add a spectacular view, and the Ridge is soaring to new heights.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today. Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
Hello, North Central Washington. I'm Dave Tosh, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and I'm excited to announce a new variety show entitled Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Senior Center. And I think you'll find it educational, informative, and a lot of fun. Join us for the new program, Vibrant Living.
ColorFX has moved to a larger facility to expand their printing capacity for apparel, vehicle graphics, banners, decals, and more for all of your companies, your corporations, churches, schools, and your team needs. Shop local. Call ColorFX today.
Liberty Orchards is still making delicious candies, including the original applets and cotlets. You'll find fruit and nut specialties like Fruit Delights and nutritious orchard bars. Order online or stop by their store on Mission Street in Cashmere. Plan your visit today.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa wants you to shop at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. They have a huge variety of fun Christmas items in their Christmas cottage. There's so much to choose from, and it changes day to day. Santas and snowmen, holiday dishes and decor, village pieces and ornaments. To add to your collection or start something new, you can't beat the prices. What's old is new again for you in the Christmas cottage at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And we are back. It is 5 degrees outside of our studios in downtown Wenatchee. Around the region right now, Freddie, you're at 7. Moses Lake, 9 degrees. The winner for the cold spot, once again, Omak. You're at 3 degrees. In case you missed it, we talked about this at the start of the program. The high temperature in Omak yesterday was 2. The low was -2. And guess what? Going to be cold again up north. This is the wind chill factors for the Okanagan Valley. In fact, they've issued a wind chill warning for the Omak-Okanagan area. They're going to see winds again coming right down out of British Columbia and Alberta, going to channel into that narrow valley, going to follow the Columbia River right down to the Waterville Plateau, and that means more really cold wind chill readings for the Okanagan Valley, the Waterville Plateau, all the way down to the Western Columbia Basin, and that includes the Moses Lake area. So if you factor in the wind chills, another sub-zero day, that's just cold. It just cuts through your clothes. Now, as far as snow is concerned, late today through Wednesday, here in the Wenatchee Valley, as you can see, not much. Most of the snow is going to be relegated to the south of us. Yakima is going to get some snow, the Tri-Cities, Walla Walla, Lewiston, Clarkston, maybe Spokane, an inch, maybe 2. We're just going to get a light dusting of snow today through Wednesday. The next band of significant snow, and I mean maybe an inch, not a big dumping of snow, but just enough to make things a little on the goofy side. That's going to come Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Late Wednesday night while you're sleeping into Thursday is when we're having the best chance of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. Clouds will be thickening up as the day progresses. Will be a little bit warmer today. We only got to 10 yesterday. That was it. 14 for our high today, 7 for the overnight low tonight. As you can see, just a little bit of a gradual warm-up. By the time we get to Thursday is our best chance of measurable snow with a high of 17. And then we get up to 21 on Friday, all relative, that's not bad. And then to 22 on Saturday for New Year's Day, a little bit warmer on Sunday, a little bit warmer on Monday. So relief is coming, it's just gonna take a while. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.